Ah, yes, greetings, ladies and gentlemen, lady gentlemen, and gentlemen ladies. Pretty sure that covers everyone these days, doesn't it? I want this video to be very inclusive, you see, so who am I missing? Oh yeah, if you're wondering how many slurs I just said, or did not, yes. Anyway, let me just bring this up. Boston University School of Law offers therapy for students upset over recent SCOTUS rulings. Boston, of course, not exactly known for its tough guy reputation, given its past history of liking tea parties and all of that, but anyway. Therapy for a Supreme Court ruling, and you're studying law. Do I even need a punchline for this joke? Because I feel like the mimetics of irony alone is enough to sell it. You know, I'm starting to think American exceptionalism means exceptionally stupid, and I get the feeling I'm probably not the only one. So, with that being said, dear Americans, we need to have a bit of a word here. Some of you, or many of you in fact, are infected, and not because you took copious amounts of coof shots up your asshole. Although Johnson & Johnson and assholes is a fitting description for most of your sexual fantasies, I'm quite sure. No, a great many of you are infected with this rapacious disease called leftism. It's extremely pernicious, with multiple degenerative signs manifesting in a broad variety of ways, both physically and mentally. It's now a widely known phenomenon that causes severe detachment with objective reality. Your hair will morph into the weirdest and most unusual of colors, and half of it on the side of your head will just fall off. Many of you will grow fat, even grotesquely overweight. You will grow tits, with or without hormones. You run the risk of being so disfigured that these circus freaks of yesteryear would think you're trying to muscle in and steal their jobs. Your dress sense will resemble that of a madman who tried to fuck an angry tennis ball launcher loaded with sherbet. You will decry hygiene and sanitation standards as an outgrowth of the bourgeoisie that offends native tribes. You could develop sexual habits that even the most perverted furries will think should land you in a damn mental asylum. You will grow addicted to this weird glowing device that will warp your conception of power and trick your now lackluster mind into believing that through spouting nonsensical opinions via pixels that you will somehow change the world. Your entire existence will be focused almost solely on materialistic gain and your now deeply debilitating drug habit, yet you will decry capitalism as the bane of all of mankind. Your IQ will drop precipitously as your brain will turn to rot like you've been freebasing crocodile through an Oculus headset, rendering you completely incapable of performing even the most basic of thought processes. You will be unable to comprehend any abstractive thoughts. Common sense and reason will be removed from your cognitive abilities. You will become so mentally unstable that any instance or information that showcases your freshly diminished intellectual capacity will result in you showing an inhibition to control speech volume and temper, the likes of which would shame even the town drunk. You will believe everything that isn't white and has a minority status attached to it is somehow oppressed. And when confronted with the fact that one group kills test scores and college admission rates, meanwhile the other one kills calories and each other, you will be unable to articulate why this amorphous thing called depression seems to affect smaller minority group A a hell of a lot less than larger minority group B. You will falsely call yourself a person of science, but decry every facet of reality that doesn't conform to your drug-hazed perception as a weapon of politics designed to wipe out a group of people that fetishizes absurd stupidity to the point where I'm starting to wonder if it's a cult designed to cull human reason at best and push for self-deletion at worst. And you will be lockstep in line with the regime. Oh yes, you will don the uniform, yet be stumped, befuddled and bereft as to why no one treats you like a sentient human being anymore. Safe to say it's produced some problems. But through extensive research and many hours of grueling cringe and headbutting the drywall, we feel pretty confident in our conclusion. The problem is, of course, women, perpetuated through this process we all like to call Californication. And so I have devised a solution. Given that this process is really launched heavily in higher education, I propose we make it mandatory that every college student, either before entering college or during, must spend at least 6 months in a non-Western nation. I've heard from the dictatorial autocrat, the totally legitimately elected president of Ukraine that's not laundered more money than Hunter bloody Biden at this point, that if Ukraine democracy falls, somehow all of the West will fall with it. I don't know how that makes any sense whatsoever. It's not like Ukraine hasn't been under the thumb of the Russian Empire in the past, and we didn't all become autocratic then. So why the hell would we now? But damn it, there I go again with that pesky thing called historical reflection and reason that I keep forgetting doesn't matter because I don't hold a degree in genderqueer theory with a minor in lesbian basket weaving. But anyway, I have heard all of these leftists vowing to defend our democracy at all costs. Well, the stakes seem to be pretty damn high here, so how about we send them all to fight for our democracy over in Ukraine then? Knock yourselves out trying to defend gender non-conforming soldiers who don the black sun. Should be a cakewalk. We've sent billions in arms and equipment there. Why, the media is talking non-stop about how the Russians are all a bunch of incompetent drunkards with a defunct military arsenal and no strategic capabilities whatsoever. Or you can try your hand at peddling your genderqueer theories in Saudi Arabia. Go and lecture those pesky autocrats about why all the capitalistic entities that you hate so much, except when they change their logos once a year to represent all the colors in your fucking hair, that they're all wrong, and that you, the all-knowing would-be college student that's never set foot outside of their own bloody nation, are right about absolutely everything, and they're all a bunch of backward barbarians. If you can make it back after 6 months, well done to you. If you don't, well, that's why we keep selling the Saudis weaponry. And after all of that is said and done, we can consult the alleged offspring of Soros and Mother Gaia on a night where she had one too many quaaludes, Greta Thunberg, the cretin who is single-handedly ruining the stereotype that all Swedish girls are drop-dead gorgeous. Perhaps one day, when some unfortunate soul takes a V-card and skullfucks her face, she'll become more concerned with taking dick rather than everybody else's freedom. God bless the one soul that undertakes that task, but whoever he is, I'm pretty sure that during the act he'll be saluting Lenin and wearing a fucking COVID mask. And once again, I apologize for nothing.